If you were to know one thing about me, make it this. I'm a sucker for a good romance anime. And this season is not disappointed, with series like Pseudo Harem airing. However, in just the first 2 episodes, nothing has quite enraptured me like Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Seriously, the last time I was this excited for a romance was with the dual season Heartstoppers, Skip and Loafer, and my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999. Honestly speaking, Alya has the potential to be even better than those two. This video won't be like my usual ones. Instead, my sole purpose here is literally to get you to watch this one singular anime. And to start, I want to talk about the premise. The premise of Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian is this. Alya, the titular character, is the idol of her school. Pretty, smart, cool, calm, and collected. She won't bat an eye at anyone, let alone any of her fellow male students. That is, except for one, Masachika, a surprisingly well-adjusted otaku who she has a unique affection for. A unique affection that she expresses solely through Russian. It's simple yet brilliant. But here's the twist, friends. Masachika pretty fluently understands Russian, meaning all of her words of affection he, well, hears loud and clear. I love it already. Now, premise isn't everything. If I've learned anything from my teen romantic comedy snafu, it's that it's the characters that will inevitably have to carry any premise through even just an entire 12 episodes, which that anime definitely does. So do I think this anime has the chops for that? Absolutely. I want to talk about Alya first. I wouldn't call her a tsundere necessarily, but she does have an offish kind of attitude. While we haven't fully dived deep into why that is quite yet, even this early on we see the repercussions of it. Alya has no friends. In episode 2, when talking about trying on clothes, Alya asks Masachika to watch her do so. To which he remarks in his head that's what only close friends do. But then he realizes something. She doesn't realize that because she has no friends. Again, we don't know why she is so standoffish, but I have faith in this anime that there will be a good reason for it. And even if there's not, it's one of the simple joys in my life to see him hype Alya up, to cheer her up, and to be a friend to her, even if it embarrasses him. It's the simple things, folks. I've talked on the channel about my own lonely childhood, specifically on my video, The Horror Masterpiece That Convinced Me to Live. And just having someone reach out a hand to solidly affirm that you are indeed friends, well, it means a lot. More than people know. As for Masachika, man, I love this guy. Yeah, he's an otaku, and you could say he's a self-insert, but really any main character technically is. Oh, but why does a school idol like him and him only? You're gonna tell me there's no otaku wish fulfillment for her to like the average guy? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian and understands that romance doesn't really work that way. In fact, a lot of the time, the reasons behind a crush are so abstract and minuscule that it can seem entirely random. Is Alya instead supposed to like the most popular guy in school just because he's popular? What's the sense in that? To automatically assume that is, 1, to just blatantly deny human nature, but 2, and more importantly, it's just anti-wish fulfillment at that point. To assume just because one is popular that means they get all the ladies is, I'm gonna say it, kind of a beta male mindset. Oh, but if only I were better looking, is assuming that every girl is shallow, and that they owe men who are more conventionally attractive something like their attention. No, friends, feelings just don't work that way. Girls are allowed to like whoever they want, whether it be the popular soccer star or the nerdy otaku they sit next to in class, without it always having to be a case of wish fulfillment. Also, Masachika is kind of a Chad anyway. Anime protagonists constantly like to beat around the bush, or are too shy to say anything of substance. But as early as episode 1, he tells Alya point blank that they are friends. And while that might not seem like much, this is anime we're talking about here, folks. That is episode level progression in just the first episode. We also, of course, cannot forget about Sue, which I'm gonna pronounce her name wrong, whatever, who is an absolute delight. I won't say anything more about her, but the twist reveal in episode 2 genuinely caught me off guard, and her personality after the fact is infectious to say the least. Stay the course and you'll get to that episode. Who am I kidding? You'll probably believe in the first 3 episodes raw on anime anyway. You'll get there in due time. The premise sets up such great scenarios for the 2 main characters' chemistry to develop into love. But even beyond that, is something I hope I've expressed in this video. It's the characters that are going to carry this show. I mentioned it earlier, but Masachika being an absolute shad and affirming that he is indeed Alya's friend means so much not to just me personally, but to Alya herself. Character dynamics are something I've also talked about on the channel before, specifically in my arcane analysis. And in that video I said this: character dynamics require dynamic characters. So do these characters fit the bill? Well, I certainly think so. Each has unique flaws the other fills in for each other. Masachika is perhaps the most obvious, with him not wanting to join the student council, showing a slight lack of initiative. He's also okay with just really being an otaku and lounging around all day. Now, it's been slightly hinted that this is because of a lack of motivation, but that this spawns from something very specific that happened in middle school. Perhaps having a girl not become president of the school, or him seeing the hurtful world that even just school politics can lead to. We're not sure yet, but whatever the case may be, this has led Masachika to become a person that doesn't want to get involved with much of anything. But he's still a social guy, which makes him receptive to Alya. Alya, for her part, is almost certainly going to be the reason Masachika runs for the student council. She will push him to be the best version of himself, which is of course the main goal in any healthy relationship. This goes past the usual banter of the slacker and the straight-A student dynamic, typically seen in even great anime like Origairu, and like that anime, has a strong foundation for why things are that way, and how they have the potential to change. Alya's flaws are probably just as obvious, and are something we basically already talked about in this video. She doesn't know how to communicate her feelings. This leads to her having no friends, sure, but is also why she can't express her romantic feelings for Masachika, only doing so in Russian. Him, being a naturally social guy, will surely help her in this regard. Sue, right now at least, plays a Chika Fujiwara role, essentially just throwing a wrench in everything while also being pretty genuinely hilarious. We'll see more of her development, I'm sure, in future episodes. The OP hints at there being other characters in the mold, but I really hope this anime doesn't become a harem. Please no one spoil that in the comments. I have obviously not read the source material if you couldn't already tell. Man, I am so excited for this anime. If it lives up to my own personal hype, I'd just been making another video on it. Please let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in that. Next video on the chopping block will be the scariest 4 minutes I've ever seen, followed by, probably at least, an actual subversion of mascot horror. Take a look at my community page if you want to see my full content plan for the next couple of months. And, as always, thank you for watching.